So we're saying hello to Ranjit Ekulaker
Yeah. Hi.
from
Hi.
London. Glad to see you. What is the future of maternal fetal medicine?
The future of maternal fetal medicine is the same as maternity. Maternal fetal medicine is just a branch that deals with making pregnancy safer. So it will exist as long as women keep having babies. So it is here to stay. And over the last several years, there has been a significant evolution in how it has developed. We have made significant advances in the last 30 years in terms of making pregnancies safer, and there is a lot more work to do. But it is here to stay.
What is the biggest challenge in prenatal care today?
The biggest challenge is in being able to prevent the adverse outcomes, and that includes either premature births, that includes stillbirths, and that includes the harm that is caused during the pregnancy. So that is the biggest challenge to prevent adverse outcomes, primarily stillbirths and premature births.
What are the most important recent advances in fetal medicine and prenatal diagnosis?
So one of the most important advancements in prenatal diagnosis and fetal medicine was screening for preeclampsia. So preeclampsia is high blood pressure in pregnancy, and it has been around for thousands of years. And up until a few decades ago, preeclampsia and hypertension in pregnancy used to be one of the most significant causes of death for a pregnant mother, or for that matter, a newborn baby, or that matter, an unborn baby as well. So it was significantly associated with the risk of a mother or baby dying. Even today, there are many parts of the world where this is true. But because of the significant advances in fetal medicine and prenatal diagnosis, now we are able to identify mothers at 12 weeks, which is 3 months of pregnancy, who is high risk. And more important than identification of the high risk, we are able to give them treatment to be able to prevent this condition from happening. And there are several other research studies that are almost at a point where they can be introduced in clinical practice, where harm from preeclampsia or hypertension in pregnancy can be stopped even later in pregnancy. Even in the ones that we cannot prevent, we can make those pregnancies safer. So that is one most important aspect of it. The second most important aspect, another aspect, is identification of babies that are small, that sometimes can die, and effective management of these pregnancies in a very structured protocol based fashion to make sure that women and families get clear information. And the most important aspect, once you have made sure that the baby is healthy, is to when to deliver and how to deliver. And I think that a lot of work has been done to make sure that that happens.
How do you approach the management of high risk pregnancies involving fetal abnormalities?
I think in a very simplistic way, you can divide fetal abnormalities into three groups: mild, moderate, and severe. And this is how I explain it to parents as well. A severe abnormality is defined as something that you cannot live with or something that you can die from. So that is the most severe version of abnormality. And then in the middle, you have a milder group of moderate group of abnormalities where they are major. They will need treatment, for example, sometimes an operation to fix it, but you can live a normal life. You can grow up, go to school, have a job, buy a car, and get a loan and run the marathon. But you will need treatment and you will need monitoring. And the mild ones are the ones which have minimal impact on quality of life. So those are the three kinds of abnormalities. The job as a perinatal medicine specialist, the job as a fetal medicine specialist for us is to give parents accurate information to make sure that we identify these abnormalities clearly and accurately, and secondly, as early in the pregnancy as possible. Because if I am the mother, if somebody told me that the baby has a very severe abnormality of the heart and has a significant impact on quality of life, it is a personal decision for the mother and the family whether they carry on the pregnancy or they stop the pregnancy and have a termination. But I would like that information to be given to me when I'm 3 months, not when I'm 6 months. So, in terms of management of fetal abnormalities, one is to do it well, to do it clearly and confidently, to make sure that what is told to the parents during the pregnancy is actually what is happening at birth. And second, to do it as early in the pregnancy as possible, to make sure that women get the option of choice. There is no right or wrong answer. Continuing the pregnancy is not the right thing to do, nor is having a termination. Every parent will make an individual choice. My job is to give them accurate and correct information at as early a stage as I can, as confidently as I can, as accurately as I can, so that they can make an informed choice. And to tell them clearly whether this abnormality has a significant impact on their child's quality of life or a risk of significant developmental problem or death.
Thank you so much for attending, Professor
You're welcome.
Akalekar.